Anyone elected president next week faces the daunting task of jump-starting the U.S. economy. Not so easy, even for the clearly intelligent and magnetic Mr. Obama. While the U.S. government has provided loans, guarantees, and bailout funds to the private sector in excess of $5 trillion, gulp, the amount of leverage the government actually has over the use of those funds turns out to be pretty small. While there's a battle cry, for example, from within the Treasury Department to get those fund recipients, that is mostly banks, to start lending out that money, supposedly to get people back to work and revenues flowing into state coffers, the banks are holding back. They say they're being prudent. The banks aren't just sitting on their hands, though. They're pressing hard on you. Debts owed to them. Anything with a variable rate, it's being jacked up. Interest rates on credit cards soaring fast as banks see the prospect there of widespread default. Their approach, get the most out of customers as soon as possible. Weed out those who cannot pay, like the newly unemployed. There are many more to come, and raise revenues that way. No relief, they say, will be offered to anyone who's defaulted on a mortgage and lost a job. Sorry, too vulnerable. In fact, the more vulnerable you are, the less assistance you'll get. Unless, of course, you're a bank. Too big to fail, too little to matter. While the banks are doing that to you, the government is lowering the cost of the money it loans to banks to less than 1% in some instances. What it amounts to is this: the economy is so sluggish, confidence so low, and prospects so few, banks and their strongest customers can borrow money for little or no interest. It's a very different story for you. One thing the big banks are doing with their money is buying, well, smaller banks. After all the talk of change, then, the federal government is at it again, letting the banks take the lead, this time with our money. What to do if that doesn't work, or the banks won't work for us? Don't ask. That's a question for the next president next week. You'll find everything you've seen on this show at our website, grittv.org. There's a place there to comment on every story. While you're there, join our mailing list so we can let you know what we've got coming up on the program. There's a podcast, too, and a Twitter feed of every blog posting. Just follow Grit TV. And please become a supporter if you can. Thanks for watching.